What up, what up, what up? It's your boy, Cardinal Red, and we back for some more of that Ali Land boxing talk, people. And today we talking passing of the torch. Garcia versus Spence. Winner gets Pacquiao. Alright, y'all, I just wanted to give my 2 cents on why I feel like this fight would be the passing of the torch fight. You know, the winner would get to be the passing of the torch fight for Manny Pacquiao. I really want Spence to win this fight, man. I really like, not Spence, but I really like Mikey Garcia, man. I really want Garcia to win this fight. I'm a big Garcia fan. I like Spence too, but just because I feel like it's so commendable what Mikey Garcia is actually doing, man. Moving up from 130 pounds all the way to 147 pounds. And not only making that big of a jump, you know, that's a 17-pound jump. But making that jump and taking on the best guy at 147 pounds, or one of the best guys at 147 pounds. You know, it would have been real easy for Mikey Garcia to say, you know what, I'm going to jump up and weight, but I'm going to jump up and weight, and I'm going to take on a cherry-picked opponent, or I'm going to find me a lesser opponent, you know, and take me a tune-up fight before I try to fight one of these top guys. But he said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and jump up to 147 pounds, and I'm going to fight one of the best guys at 147 pounds, and I'm going to give boxing fans something memorable and something historic to watch. And you got to respect Mikey Garcia's huevos for for wanting to attempt this, man. You know, a lot of people don't feel like Mikey Garcia has any type of chance to win this fight. And I'm giving Garcia a great chance to win this fight, because in boxing, man, to me, the best fights are when you have a clash of styles, when you have two guys that are complete opposites of each other, and they get to fight. You know, I think that's what boxing is missing. You know, boxing in its heyday was always a clash of styles, and the most historic fights are usually a clash of styles. You know, it's a speed guy versus a power guy. It's a pure boxer versus a brawler. It's you know, when you have those type of dynamics, they make for great fights, because you never know what's going to happen. You know, it would have been real easy, like I said, for Mikey Garcia to move up to 147 pounds and say, you know what, I'm going to fight a Josecito Lopez, or I'm going to fight, you know, a lesser opponent, you know, and still get paid, you know, really good money. You know, I don't think he's making a lot of money, even making a lot of money for this Errol Spence fight. And that says a lot about Mikey Garcia's character, and the fact that he really wants to give fans a special showing in this fight, man. And I think that's real commendable, man. And I just feel like, you know, when you think about this fight, I feel like Garcia has a chance simply because he has so much speed. He's going to be a lot faster than Errol. You know, people talk about Earl's flat-footed, and he doesn't have a lot of defense. So I think that's one of the things that Mikey Garcia feels like he can exploit, in the same way that Pacquiao was able to exploit that against Margarito, and he was able to exploit that against Cotto. You know, Cotto being a lot slower than Pacquiao, a lot more powerful, but a lot slower. And man, you really gotta like Mikey Garcia for what he's doing for the sport, man. Nowadays, you know, when you have guys that, you know, want to call out Pacquiao, and everybody wants to jump on the Pacquiao train because it's a lot of money involved in it. But when you think about the current guys calling out Pacquiao, like Thurman, you know, Lomachenko, or even Terrence Crawford, but when you single in on some of these guys like Thurman, you know, I really don't feel like he deserves a passing of the torch fight with Manny Pacquiao based on this Josecito Lopez fight, because he really kind of like stunk the place up, man. You know, he didn't give the showing he should have given, you know. But on the flip side of that, Josecito Lopez, I think, rose his stock, you know, a lot by putting up that type of performance, you know, and taking Keith Thurman to the wire, you know, and really giving him the business in a way. So I feel like, you know, it doesn't come down when you think about the names that are going that could possibly be Manny Pacquiao's next fight. I think these two guys are the top two names, and I just feel like when you think about Spence, man, and people like to talk about Spence as a weight bully, and what people have to understand about boxing, man, and how boxing used to be and how boxing really is, and you really got to hear me on this, because boxing is based off of solidifying yourself, man, and showing that you are that top guy. And what Errol Spence has done is show that he, you know, he's a natural 155-pound guy. So when people say he's a weight bully, you know, that's not Errol Spence's fault that he's naturally bigger than these guys. These guys have to be willing to move up and say, you know what, I want that challenge. You know, I want to challenge the best, you know, whether he's bigger than me or not. You know, they didn't stop Pacquiao from fighting Margarito. They didn't stop Pacquiao from getting in there and saying, you know, I'm going to show my worth. And I'm going to fight the best guy out there. I'm going to fight the biggest guy out there. Because not only does that give fans what they want, if I beat them, you know, that shoots me up to a really high plateau. And you know, I feel like what Mikey Garcia is doing is showing his worth, man. And I feel like that's what Errol Spence has done. You know, it's not his fault that he's just naturally bigger than these guys. These guys have to be willing to get in there and fight and show their worth. You know, eventually Errol Spence is not going to be at 147 pounds because he is so much bigger. And I feel like what he has to do is dominate at 147 pounds. So when he does move up in weight, you know, he showed his worth, you know, and people at 155 pounds, people at 160 pounds are going to want to fight him for bigger money, you know. It's all about showing your worth in the sport of boxing, in the same fashion that Josecito Lopez did, you know. While Keith Thurman stunk the place up, you got to really clap for what Josecito Lopez did, because in my eyes, what he did, and I'm going to quote what Leon Muhammad said, Josecito Lopez is going to get a tune-up fight with somebody, you know, maybe a Crawford, maybe a Porter at some point. And somebody else is going to want to fight Lopez because off the performance that he gave in that Thurman fight, man. He really solidifies himself as a not a top guy, but a worthy opponent. And you know, he really showed his worth in that fight. And when you call somebody a weight bully, it's not that Errol Spence is weight bullying, man. He's just naturally bigger than these guys, and you can't blame him for taking advantage of what's natural to him. You know, that's what you have to do. If you're naturally faster than somebody, and I'm naturally stronger than you, I can't get mad at you if you beat me because you're taking advantage of what's your natural ability. So, you know, I would never call Errol Spence a weight bully, man. I really like Spence as well. You know, I'm really having a hard time even wanting to watch this fight because I like both guys, and I don't want to, you know, I hate to see one of them lose that, but I don't feel like it hurts either one. I think this fight is such a good fight for fans. I don't think either guy is going to lose any fan friendliness, whoever wins that fight. I think the loser will still get to campaign and still get to make big fights after that. You know, let's say Garcia wins, man, and I really hope Garcia does win. I would like to see Manny Pacquiao actually take on Garcia at 130 pounds, you know, and campaign for that belt that Garcia is holding, and perhaps get to retire as the 130-pound champion and the 140-pound champion, which would be historic and history-making, and another stat for his legendary status, man. And I think that would be a great passing of the torch fight, win or lose for Pacquiao. Even if, like I said, if Pacquiao won, he would get the belt. and he would have his 147-pound belt, and he would be able to retire, you know, with a lot of dignity. Not a lot of money in that fight, but a lot of fan friendliness. You know, I think he would gain a lot of new respect if he was able to pull that off. And not only that, that would be history making for him to be able to say, hey, not only did I go get a 147-pound belt at 40 years old, but I also went down and got a 130-pound belt, you know what I'm saying, at 40 years old. And if it's Errol Spence, you know, a lot of people want to see that fight as well, and it would be an amazing fight, you know. Like I said, not a huge money fight, but I think more money than the Mikey Garcia fight would be worth, just because of Errol Spence's size. You know, it's almost like Pacquiao fighting Canelo, or Pacquiao fighting Margarito or Cotto once again. So, you know, I think even if it's Spence, you know, it's still a very big fight. It's still a very fan-friendly fight, and he has the chance to capture another belt. And if he wins, he goes out on, you know, this is a win-win situation for Pacquiao. Is the reason why I do feel like that this is the passing of the torch fight, is because either guy he fights, you know, it's set up for him to maybe get a belt out of it, and for him to retire maybe with 2 belts. So, you know, I just feel like this is awesome for fans, man. This is a real fan-friendly passing of the torch type of situation. I think this is a great way for Mikey Garcia to show his worth in a similar fashion to what Pacquiao did, like I said. And I feel like this is a chance for Errol Spence to get the big money pay-per-view fight, if he wins, that he's been waiting for, and the new fan exposure that he's been waiting for. And I think it's the opportunity the same for Mikey Garcia if he wins. You know, this is